Alright guys, welcome back to episode number 2 of the simulator project. Today we're going to finish it up, so we're going to finish the roll cage, the hoops and everything, and also get the accessories on the simulator. And plus I'm going to show you how my routine is as far as practicing. I'm not just banging and hitting lights each day trying to get a better extra time. I go through my whole routine. I'm going to show you that. So let's go finish building up the hoop and get the accessories on it and get this thing to working. Let's go. Alright guys, so I got some scrap here. These pieces are actually too short to do on the back of the hoop, but what we're going to do is I'm going to just add a little bit to them. You know, this isn't a real car, it's a simulator. So rather than waste material, I'm just going to add some length to it. So I'm going to cut it off right here, add 2 inches to it, and go from there. That way we got enough to finish the back of this hoop. And then these other 2 drops here, I think I can do the side hoops, so we're going to do that as well. So just bending up some tubing here and see what we can do. All right guys, I got a drop here that we're going to use for the elbow and the side of the roll cage there. We're going to cut it in half and bend it on out. It's just a drop I had on a car we were working on, and I didn't like the way it was configured, so rather than trash it, I just laid it aside. So now we have an opportunity to use it. So we're going to finish the bends, cut it in half, and we'll use that for our side of our roll cage. So now we've got our piece bent up. If you look right here, we cut this. It's going to work out, but man, it was really close. But I'm glad it worked out. We didn't have to waste some more material. We can use this piece that was dropped off. So we're going to notch it right here, clean this up, and then we'll do this in as well, and then we'll see how it fits up. I think we're going to be really close. It's going to look good. I was able to get it to work out, so that's pretty cool. Okay guys, so I've got these pieces cut out, got a notch set in place, I've got them locked in with the magnet and the clamp. We're going to double check our measurements on that, and then we're going to take these things in place and check it one more time before we weld it up, just make sure everything's okay. The drops worked really good. I was really close on that piece over there, as I showed you when I was getting ready to notch it. This piece here just barely had a bend in it. I couldn't quite get the full length, but had a little bit of a bend. If I didn't tell you, you probably would never know it. But none of that really matters to the simulator, not a car. And I'm going to cover this up with some side panels like I have in the A-Fuel car, just so I have the same atmosphere as I do at the drag strip. Because what I'm trying to do is just simulate everything that's going on so that I can practice really well and get my reaction time dialed in for next year. Again, the goal here is just to have my reaction times really tight and down in the 030 range for the A-Fuel car, which would be pretty good for the class. If I can be better, that'd be awesome, but that's the goal I'm going for. So remember, I always set a goal that you want to try to reach. If we don't set goals, we want to improve ourselves. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So let's get this tacked in and get it welded up. Alright guys, working on the simulator here. I went through some old stuff and I found this old steering wheel. You can see it has a practice button on for practice tree. Backline's running super comp, early 2000s. So I'm gonna use that as a steering wheel. This is a brake lever, or parachute lever off of the Volkswagen that I made. I just made an extra one, so I'm gonna use it for fuel shut off lever. And then I've also made a pedal here and got these tabs here for the micro switches and stuff, so we'll get that in. That's some stuff I made today for the simulator. It's turned out pretty good. So we'll just keep working at it and get it done so we can get to practicing. Alright guys, so I went to the race shop the other day. I want to see how much weight it took to pull the brake handle. So I took just your usual luggage scale for doing luggage to the airport. And what I did is I attached this scale to the handbrake, and then I pulled it back just to see what the weight was. Now I know I want 250 pounds on my dash, so I want to see what the weight of pulling is. And you can see right here I'm at 5.8. So 5.8 pounds of pulling force. So I come back to my shop, did the same thing, and I'm 5.6 to 5.8. So I know that my brake pressure is about the same. So here's the finished product. Roll it in here. Let's go over and see what's going on. Alright guys, so if you see right here, I've got my pedal. And believe it or not, this is a VR6 inner valve spring. And then I've got the outer down here, as you saw before, where we was measuring the pull weight for the brake handle here. This worked out perfectly. So we were at that 5.6, 5.8 pounds of pull weight. And then of course we use the inners here on the throttle pedal so that we can I want it to be stiff, kind of like the car, just so I got a feeling. So what we've done here, you see here, I've got this micro switch here, and you only have to move it that much, and it, basically I lay my foot on it, it's gonna trigger it. And then we also have the one back here, so when I pull the brake, it actually turns everything on. So I want to show you guys how a whole run would look. I practiced this as a whole run, So let's look at it. All right, guys, so let's get in here. I want to show you my routine. Before I do that, I want to show you a little bit about the sensitivity of the throttle pedal and the things I've adjusted. So if you look right here, I've got my Jegs handheld porta-tree. I just got my 2 micro switches wired into this, basically a headphone jack. And if you look, you can see how everything's working. So if I move the brake or if I hit the throttle, it's going to trigger the tree. But if I trigger the throttle too soon, it's going to give us a red light, which is what I want. So normally if I just lay my foot on the pedal, as you see here, it's going to come up red. So let's go into the routine. So basically I'm fuel on, I'm waiting the signal to do a burnout. I go ahead and do the burnout, so I'm letting go of the brake a little bit, mashing the throttle, and then I'll reach down. I do the clutch motions and everything, and you'll see me reach down and I'm acting like I'm putting it in reverse, and then I'll back up from the burnout. So as I back up from the burnout, you know, I'm riding the clutch, riding the brake, watching the person in front of me got me back. Don't want to get them running too fast. And I don't want to get too fast, it makes my front wheels flop back and forth. So I'm just grabbing the brake, stopping, put it back and forward, and then I'll roll forward about, you know, 8 to 10 inches from the tree. And then I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for them to adjust the fuel, just idle, take off the throttle stop from the burnout, and I wait for them to show me that throttle stop. And then I'll ease forward into the beams. Now when I do this, I'll act like I'm easing into the beams, get set, and then I'll reach up, turn on my porta tree here, just to say I'm pre-staged, and I go through the motions. Fuel on, pump the brake, visor down, roll in and stage with a deep breath, and then bang that tree. So you can see how I let go of the brake, match the gas. In this instance, I'm 0.42 on the tree, which is what we're looking for or better. All right, guys, so what I do, if you look here, I got my paper here, and what I do is each day I come here and make 3 or 4 hits, whatever. I don't do repeated hits. I go through my routine each time. If you look here, this was last week, so I've had this simulator done, but this is right after we got back from a mission trip, so I was a little slow when I first got home. But if you look, each day it progressively got better as I got back in a routine. So, you know, 0.48 light, 39, a 38, a 41, a 44, and a 61. So I was pretty consistent to the 61. And what I found out is at the end of the day, so I do this throughout the day, work day, whatever, and late at night. So as the day goes on, when you get tired, you're going to get slower. So this day, first hit of the morning, I mean, I just basically woke up, come down here and made a hit. It was a 57 and a 38. And then the following day was 29, 005, we're going to call that luck, a 59, a 44, and a 50. So I wasn't grouped quite as tight as I was, but then I came in here and I was 39, 32, a 31, 43, and a 30. So my average throughout the week went from a 0.45 daily average to basically a 0.35 average by the end of the week. So getting back in routine, it progressed. I picked up almost 100th on the reaction time. So it's just a way to show that I am progressing, but also that I'm doing what needs to be done. So like I said, when I first started in this, I'd set the practice tree same as it was at Charlotte. So I was cutting 0.70 light, so I made sure my box was 0.70. And then I haven't touched the box, no rollout, no nothing, no adjustments. It's all been solely improving my reaction time. So my goal has been to be a consistent mid-30 range, and I'm getting there with this here. So I just want to stay consistent on that 0.30 range and continue to get better. The good thing is I'm starting to hit 19s and some 20s, so that tells me that I can get a little bit better.